So here's a fascinating story from Zero Hedge in relation to the other story I read you about the MF Global situation in Dubai with the gold scandal. People's accounts wiped out, their gold's missing, their money's missing, and some very prominent Dubai officials are involved, and it looks like potentially some U.S. entities maybe as well. So this is an update from Zero Hedge on that scandal shenanigans. Before I even start reading this, I'll just go ahead and get it out of my system now, because I'm dying to say this. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. But it's in a warehouse and I got a receipt. If you don't hold it in your possession, you do not own it. And you will find that there were layers upon layers upon layers of people or entities that get their money first under any kind of bankruptcy proceedings. And somehow you're the last maggot to get anything, which means you get nothing. Because there will be nothing left by the time it gets down to you. You can't go wrong by buying physical metals. As I think I mentioned, I just made a little purchase recently. In fact, since my wife's sitting right next to me, I might as well say this to her because I forgot to tell her. Just bought a little bit more silver, put on my credit card because we don't have any credit card debt, and I will pay that sucker off rapidly. And a little bit of that silver is going to be used for the game show because we fixing to move soon. And as soon as we move, it's game show time, and I would love to give out some prizes. Main prize, real money, also known as precious metals, also known as silver. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, my other channel is The Political Game Show on YouTube. There's no videos because I haven't done one yet, but I plan on it and I can't wait. So it says here, on the trail of Dubai's stolen gold, a robbed client breaks the silence and a fascinating detail emerges. On Christmas Day 2015, we told our readers the fascinating tale about the Turkish-Iranian gold smuggling ring, perhaps the biggest and most brazen in history, one which lasted for years, which saw billions in gold transported out of Turkey and into Iran to allow Tehran to circumvent the Western financial sanctions using gold as a medium for barter, and which was all made possible thanks to the tiny emirate of Dubai. What made this particular instance of gold smuggling especially memorable is that it reached to the very political top in both Turkey and Iran and Dubai. However, while the broad framework of Turkey's exporting of gold to Iran, initially directed by then via Dubai, and had already been in the public domain, Zero Hedge first revealed the man, or rather people, who made it all possible. The Dubai Gold Trading Company of Gold AE is a subsidiary of Gold Holdings Ltd., a company which is owned by SBK Business Holdings and Abu Dhabi's second-in-command, the son and advisor to the ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Sultan bin Khalifa Al Nahyan. The reason why Gold AE suddenly and very dramatically emerged on the global arena is because, as we first reported a week ago, the company's new management team admitted that after many months of inquiries, it had discovered that not only had the old management, led by the now former CEO of Gold AE, Mohammed Abu Ahaj, disappeared, but that all the money and gold held at Gold AE, which once again was primarily a trading front for the Turkish Dubai-Iran gold smuggling triangle, had been stolen. Here, for those who missed it the first time, is the letter that Gold AE's stunned clients received in late December. Dear client. Oh, how formal. Dear client. A group of minority shareholders of Gold Holding suspected that there were questionable financial transactions being undertaken in Gold AE DMCC, the company. Acting on these suspicions, they initiated internal investigations. During the course of the investigations, the entire then management team abruptly resigned with no notice. Since the majority shareholders also seemed to be unavailable, the minority shareholders did not accept this resignation. However, these persons went to DMCC, submitted their resignations, and managed to get their visas canceled. Following this, in August 2015, Mr. Andre Gauthier has been appointed as the manager of the company so that the investigations continued, and once completed, necessary action can be taken to secure the interests of the clients and shareholders of the company. Except there's nothing there to get. So fast forward, I'm not going to read all that. Fast forward to now, because I already read it the first time, a couple weeks ago or a week ago. He said, or as we said a week ago, one can summarize the lever by loosely paraphrasing South Park's infamous episode, and it's gone. The gold is all gone. In a follow-up article, The Mystery of Dubai's Vaporized Gold, The Plot Thickens, we presented readers with the version of events as laid out by the local press, in this case, Arabian Business, which tried to assign responsibility for the theft while in the process exonerating SBK Holdings and its billionaire owner, one of the most important people in the United Arab Emirates, and washing their hands of any accountability. Recall, the rush to make sure any link between the criminal Gold AE and its parent SBK Holdings owned Gold Holding is immediately severed. A spokesperson for the DIFC said, "We wish to make it clear that although Gold AE is a subsidiary of MS Gold Holding, which is a DIFC-based holding company, Gold AE and MS Gold Holding Ltd. are two separate entities. We wish to clarify that MS Gold Holding Ltd. is, to our knowledge, not involved in any trading operations, client-facing business affecting clients of Gold AE, or the provision of any financial services. Accordingly, it is not regulated by the Dubai Financial Services Authority, or the DFSA. But was Gold Holding involved in the smuggling of billions in gold out of Turkey and into Iran?" And then back to Mohammed Abu Ahaj, who just a year ago was the widely respected CEO of Gold AE. When Arabian Business emailed the public inquiry's email address for Gold Holdings, which is info@goldholding.com, it received a reply from Mohammed Abdel Khalik Abu Al-Hajj, who is a member of Gold AE's previous management team facing allegations of fraud. Al-Hajj insisted in his email that Gold AE's existing management team were responsible for the alleged fraudulent activity. He also claimed that requests by him for meetings with shareholders to discuss management issues had been refused. In short, one side saying the other's guilty, the other side responding identically, blaming the first side. Meanwhile, the money and the gold of the clients of this company, perhaps the most important gold holding company in the Persian Gulf, has been stolen. All I can think of when I hear this, and those of you that probably have little girls more so than little boys, Aladdin. I mean, I guess boys and girls, little boys and girls will both do that. Prince Ali, 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 Ali Ababa, your gold has been stolen by the king. Got that right. So while we continue to dig into the mystery of Dubai's stolen gold, one which has received absolutely no mention in the Western press. In fact, the only reason anyone mentioned Dubai in recent months was the dramatic burning of the Address Hotel on New Year's Eve. We got the following curious email from a former client of the company, a client whose gold is now all gone. And this note from the client says, "I'm a client of Gold AE and I live in JLT, just a short distance from where the company had their office in Sabah Tower 1 Tower Cluster E, so I was able to carry out reasonable due diligence for this country prior to making any investments in precious metals. I understood that Gold AE was under the patronage of the Dubai royal family and had received several awards in the UAE prior to my personal involvement. Of course, there was absolutely nothing to suspect any wrongdoing at this time. In fact, the contrary would be true. This is a prestigious organization. Those people are wearing suits and ties. Oh, wait a minute, so do our Congress critters. So does the president. So does Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase. So does, doing God's work, Lloyd Blankfein of Goldman Sachs. The one that tells their clients to bet one way so that they can bet the opposite way and win the bets on Wall Street. They all wear suits and ties too. I did not trade with the company in the traditional sense of short-term buying and selling, but invested in gold and silver over a period of time with the view of holding for the long term. So, in other words, I'm buying gold over a long period of time. I'm a stacker. I'm going to keep stacking. Sir, whoever wrote this note, step into my office. Why was I? Because you're freaking fired, that's why. Did you hold the gold or silver in your possession? No, I didn't. Step into my office again. You are fired again. Double fired on the same day. If you held the precious metals under your possession, it can't get stolen unless someone literally breaks into your house, finds your stash, breaks into your safe that should be bolted to the floor with serious concrete lags and bolts, so that shouldn't happen. And number 2 or 3, whatever point I'm making right now, I think I'm on number 3. Don't go and buy a stupid, moronic safe from Walmart or even Lowe's or Home Depot. Fireproof safe. It's just a fireproof lockbox that looks like a safe. If you want a real safe, you must get a quote-unquote burglar-proof safe. That's the key word. Call someone at a safe company. Do you have burglar-proof safes? Not lockboxes. Fireproof nonsense. Burglar-proof safes. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, that's why they're $700 or $800 instead of $150. Correct. But you could hide it in your attic, honestly. And who would know what robber's going to go searching through your attic? They're going to go in your house, run right to the master bedroom, look in the closet, look under the bed, because that's the most common place people store their stuff. And I can hear a bunch of you right now. I can hear you right now. Ooh, that's me. Ooh. Did Jay Snip just expose that? We've been doing that. And you know what that reminds me of? You remember the movie Spaceballs? What kind of moron has the passcode on a safe to 1, 2, 3, 4? And then he leaves. Remind me to change my passcode as soon as we get back. Because that other moron had a 1, 2, 3, 4 passcode. Point being, worst place you could ever store something valuable. Master bedroom anywhere. Back to this thing. This speech or this letter by this guy. I did not trade with the company in the traditional sense of short-term buying and selling, but invested in gold and silver over a period of time with the view of holding for the long term. I was comfortable with this because the precious metals were stored in the vault in Almas Tower. Almas meaning diamond, by the way, in Arabic. Under the guidance of DMCC, which is kind of like the regulating entity. This vault was said to be the most secure in the region. My personal investment / loss is in the region of, and it's redacted. The first I heard about the recent failing of the company was on the 23rd of December. I did not receive the earlier email dated December 16th. The company made no attempt to contact me prior to that. I have, however, since been in regular contact with a senior manager, my source, who now works out of the gold holding office in DIFC. He has been very helpful in passing on information and has given me the contact number of Mr. Andre Gaithier, the new CEO. Interestingly, since you published your recent article, he has stopped answering his mobile. Maybe you would like to try and speak with him on our behalf. His mobile number is, it's redacted. You may have more luck speaking with him than the clients suffering large losses. And here is the punchline from the source's letter. My source has told me that he now understands that the company knew something was terribly wrong back in the March to May period of this year, meaning 2015, but it took until December for the company to notify their clients. One has to ask why nothing was done during this time frame. My source has informed me that the main individuals responsible for this are Mohammed Abu Al-Hajj, Chairman and Founder, Mohammed Abda, COO, and Mohammed Adnan Yunis, Sales Director and Rania Member Board. I've been told all are involved are Jordanian. From Jordan, huh? However, one has a Canadian passport and one has a U.S. passport. You know somebody with the U.S. is attached to that. When you hear fraud, scandal, stolen money, you automatically know something in the U.S. was part of it. Something, some entity, some person was part of it. And here we have it. One U.S. passport and one Canadian passport. As you know, the management team conveniently resigned their positions and DMCC accepted to cancel their visas. Two of them have since set up separate companies in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. So, this is a longer article. I think I've commented enough. I'll end the video the same way I started it. If you don't hold your precious metals in your possession, you don't own them. You get a big fat IOU if you're lucky, or simply nothing. The management team resigns and walks out at the very worst. So the very least, you get a, we're sorry we owe you, but good luck getting it. Or other option, you don't get anything except finding out the management team resigned a while back and you're just figuring this out, 9 months later. Thinking the whole time I'm going to keep investing in my gold, the safe. It's in the safest, secure vault in the whole entire area. What better place to store it? Where else have we been storing things of value that keep getting stolen from us citizens? Oh, the banking system. And that's not a big giant vault with gold in it. That's digital dollars on your credit card and debit card and your bank account. And somehow the bankers steal that too. Remember John Corzine? MF Global, the original story? That's all that was. They weren't stealing people's piles of gold. It was a trading company, like a brokerage firm. And they took client money out of their accounts, bet on some nonsense in Europe, lost those bets, went bankrupt, oops, and found out that they stole the client's money to do so. And they made a large payment to JP Morgan Chase first. And then everyone figured out we're screwed. But JP Morgan got its money immediately. You don't suppose old Corzine, banker extraordinaire, I think he was a former Goldman Sachs guy if I recall, part of the club, who can take care of the club. Screw the people. Like Rockefeller told Aaron Russo, Nicholas Rockefeller. Aaron, what do you care about the people? Who gives a shit about the people? Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. That's all that matters. Who gives a shit about them? And that is how the club works. Take care.